Most people look at something small and believe it has no real power. They see weakness where there should be wonder. But this tiny ant carried a dream far bigger than her size, a dream that guided her, strengthened her, and pushed her forward every single day. Deep in a quiet forest, under the warm light of morning, lived a small ant named Leary. She wasn't the strongest, the fastest, or the biggest. To most of the colony, she was ordinary. But inside her lived curiosity, courage, and a desire to understand the world beyond routine. Every morning, the colony moved in perfect lines, repeating the same paths, the same tasks, the same rules. Leary followed, but she also observed. She noticed danger, loss, and suffering others ignored. And slowly, a question grew in her mind. What if there was a better way? Day after day, Leary carried burdens that felt far too heavy for her small body. Others passed her easily, some laughing at her struggle. The path seemed endless, and doubt crept in like a shadow. Maybe she really was too small. Maybe dreams were just distractions from survival. That evening, exhausted and alone, Leary climbed to a quiet branch overlooking the valley. Everything looked impossibly vast. Her dreams felt foolish, until she remembered her grandmother's words. Even the smallest drop of water can shape stone through persistence. And in that moment, Leary decided she would try. The next morning, Leary stood before the elders. She spoke with respect, but also with conviction. She shared her ideas, her observations, her hope. But the elders laughed. They dismissed her words as childish. This rejection hurt more than any weight she had ever carried. Days later, the sky darkened. The wind warned of danger. The elders led the colony to the same old shelter. But Leary knew this storm was different, stronger, deadlier. When no one listened, she made the hardest choice of her life, to act alone. Rain crashed down like falling stones. Each step was pain. Fear whispered for her to stop, but something stronger pushed her forward. And then she found it, a safe place, hidden above the flood. Hope. Leary returned through the storm and spoke, not with fear, but with certainty. This time, the colony followed. Together, they moved as one, helping, carrying, saving each other. What began as survival became unity. When the storm passed, the elders bowed their heads. They had underestimated the smallest among them. And now they understood. True strength is not size, it is courage. Guided by Leary's vision, the colony began to change. They built safer paths, shared knowledge, and listened to every voice, no matter how small. Leary never asked to be a leader. She simply chose to care, to observe, and to act. And in doing so, she inspired others to believe in their own voice. If a tiny ant can change the fate of an entire colony, imagine what you can change. Subscribe to Tales of Empowerment Stories, because your story matters too.